Hello and welcome to the Hot+keys podcast. It's basically the same cast as always. Mick here. We have
Ben here.
And
Landon.
We're missing Jesse this week because he didn't want to go see a movie with us. Because that's what we're going to be talking about today. Because
Why didn't you want to see the movie?
I don't know.
Did we invite him to it? We did, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said he didn't want to go.
Yeah.
He knows what we're recording.
He wouldn't. Yeah, he wouldn't. He wouldn't have gone. I don't think has he even seen the first two?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Let's just go with that.
Yeah.
So Jesse's not here.
Yeah, he's gone. He's gone.
The movie that we're all discussing. Oh, today is oh my gosh. Excuse me. Today is Sunday, May 19th, 2019.
Good day.
Good day. Yeah. It's actually a really nice day today.
Yeah, the weather is great.
Yeah. Would have been nice to go to a
theme park
today.
Yeah. Would have. Yeah.
So the movie that we're talking about is John Wick 3.
Parabellum.
We just got back from the theater.
I already forgot what Parabellum means.
Something about prepare for war or something.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that's what it means, or if they just decide to do that. But
is that like a Latin or something?
I don't know, man.
Said
I'm not a learned man.
Let's say more stuff that makes us sound stupid and uneducated.
Yes, please.
They said that in the movie. That's all I need to know.
Yeah.
It's the end.
Oh, we should say a spoiler alert for
John Wick
for
3.
all this.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking spoilers. If you guys listen to our Avengers Endgame podcast, it's pretty much like this. We'll just be talking spoilers the whole time. So, Spoiler alert if you have not seen that movie, John Wick 3. So, spoilers from now. All right. Go ahead and spoil it.
He kills so many people.
What?
Spoiled. It's ruined.
It's ruined. It's ruined.
Next spoiler.
I never saw that coming.
He pets his dog.
Spoiler.
They added more dogs. There's like 3 dogs in the movie,
Yeah.
so 2 of the dogs killed people. So
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was a good movie.
Yeah. Okay. So let's I guess just compare it to the first two. What'd you guys think of it?
I feel like I should have watched the first two beforehand. But
So you've seen them, right? Though.
yeah, I have.
you just wanna watch-
I just
I was gonna say that's gonna be like so confusing for you that you have like no idea what's
Wow, this guy's
happening.
murdering some dude in a library. Like, why would he kill this man?
no. I can't tell if it was more over the top or not.
I felt like it was.
Okay.
I think it was. Yeah.
It probably
I mean,
is.
it's hard to be over the top, like to better your over the top from the previous movie when it's John Wick, but I think I did.
Yeah, I probably had like a dozen times where I was like, I audibly was like, oh,
Yeah.
or like,
I think like we had a pretty like lively theater, and there were like a lot of like oohs and oh no, you just did that.
yeah, it was an extremely like. If you haven't seen any of the movies, like you should go watch them, but they're extremely violent.
Yeah.
Like extremely
Yeah.
graphically violent. Like it doesn't pull any punches. Very visceral. Like
Yeah.
somebody gets shot in the head. There's a cloud of red blood that flies out the other end. Yeah, but
Should have done a kill count, like how many people died.
hundreds.
Could you keep up with it though?
No, they're killing too many.
Like,
Too fast.
1, 2, 3. Oh wait, was that 2 kills or 3 kills there? Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it stacks up it's just as good as any of the other movies. I mean, I liked it a lot, but I mean, it really was just more of the same. It was like the same kind of action, but just different set pieces, kind of, and different kind of creative ways to kill people.
I like it. Yeah, that's definitely true. I like it because, like you said, it's just that same type of action, but the story has progressed in a very natural way throughout these 3 films.
Yeah.
But still keeping that action in, feeling natural.
Yeah, and keeping the story, I feel like is still very much the lesser important part of the film.
Right.
Like, it's gotten a little bit bigger and expanded with the lore, but it's still like it gets you from point A to point B.
Right.
It's like a lot of bodies.
A lot. Yeah. A lot of bodies.
What was your guys' favorite, like kind of like fight scene?
Oh
in the
gosh,
movie?
I love the one. We briefly talked about this right out of the theater, but the one where they're in the weapons museum.
Yeah.
Which I think is one of the first fights, actually.
Yeah, he makes his... So he starts out in the movie...
And in Chapter 2, he's excommunicado from the Continental, this underground assassin society, and so he's trying to escape in New York, and like everybody in New York is trying to murder him.
Yeah,
basically.
they put like a $14 million bounty on his head or whatever.
Yep.
And he kills some guy in a library, some giant... Kills with like a book.
Right out of the gate.
Right out of the gate. Like, he just... Which that is an extremely brutal
Death
fight.
by
was.
book.
Oh
And,
my
like he
God.
snaps this guy's neck like
Over a book.
yeah, like he uses the book basically as like a lever.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and then he makes his way in these the contract goes live, so he's open to kill, and
Well, he has to go to the hospital or to the doctor guy because he gets stabbed in the shoulder,
yeah.
and
And he runs from there, and a bunch of Asian. Like,
That was crazy too. The doctor thing.
yeah, that was nuts.
Where it was cool to see that people were still like willing to help him,
Yeah.
even like down to the wire.
yeah,
And then even when this guy did help him, he helped him a little too much, and so he was like,
John Wick had to shoot.
yeah. So he's like, we need to make this believable because they'll know that
I helped
I
you.
helped you. So shoot me right
Yeah.
here. John Wick doesn't like take a breath or hesitate at all. Shoots him, and he's like, maybe you should shoot me again to make it more. And shot again.
Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, he makes his way, and I think it's like Triad Gang or something, chases him into this like museum. And of course, John Wick, being who he is, makes his way to the weapons area in the museum.
Gosh,
And I thought it was so cool. He finds some old like Civil War era looking revolvers, maybe a little bit post Civil War, but like he finds one in the 45 round won't fit into the one he grabs, so he basically like reconstructs.
Yeah.
He builds up one that'll fit the round out of like the different parts and stuff, and then right as he gets finished building it, the first guy bursts through the door and he just spins no hesitation, just blows the dude's brains out, and then like this all out fight breaks out in this like historical weapons museum.
so many knives.
Yeah,
So many throwing knives.
it was brutal. It was absolutely brutal. There was just so many like like
Wick
I didn't
had
think
knives
that many
in it.
knives existed on planet Earth.
Oh, yeah.
It was just knife after knife after knife.
At one point, there's like 10 in one guy.
Yeah.
He's just laying on the floor and just keeps throwing it.
And then the guy that's on the floor with the knives, that's where he's taking the knives and then throwing it at somebody else.
Yeah. This is insane.
Jeez. Then the last guy that was just gurgling up blood afterward, and he takes a hatchet and throws it across the room at his
Yeah,
head.
just throws it like, oh my goodness. That one got like a big like, from like everybody in the audience. Like,
What are some other moments? Like, oh my gosh. I'm thinking of one in particular, and it has to do with the shotguns. At the end. It's always the shotguns.
As soon as they said like we need
more
firepower, and then they like pulled out shotguns and said these are 12 gauge slugs. Like holy cow!
Yeah, the first time they shoot somebody with it, they literally shoot the guy in the head, and like, and his whole
head's
entire
gone.
head just explodes.
Yeah.
Like, and it was like,
I was surprised they were going to show that. Did they do that in the second one too?
I don't think he shot anybody in the head like that.
Okay.
Like, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
But
that was like a siege moment.
it's rated R,
Rated
so
It's rated R.
they
and
definitely can do
They
that.
earned it. They earned the rating.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So yeah, that was brutal.
Leave the kids at home for this.
Another part I really liked, not for brutality, but it was with the two dogs, the German shepherds. And I really liked. I really enjoyed that girl character. She was pretty cool. It was cool to see her work with the dogs. And
Yeah. So.
Sorry, I jumped ahead.
Oh no, it's fine. It's fine. It's a good movie, so we're kind of all over the place. But
Yeah.
so he eventually is able to escape New York, to go find somebody else to help him, and Halle Berry plays this character, who's like the head of a. Is it a hotel? Like
I think
It's
I think
another Continental.
It's another
Yeah.
hotel. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
basically she has like the same position as like Ian McShane's character. I think that's the actor's name, right? Winston.
Winston, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's in Istanbul, right?
Yeah.
Casablanca. I thought it was Casablanca.
Oh, Casablanca. Was
Is
it? I can't
I thought it was
remember.
Casablanca.
Somewhere like that.
Somewhere in the Middle East
Yeah.
area.
And so he goes to her, and she's, like that character, and she has two dogs that are some type of shepherd, like German shepherd dog, and they're attack dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I liked how they brought back the way he gets her to help him is she has like one of the blood oath.
Right, it's like a callback to the second movie. Yeah.
Which so that was cool to see that.
I couldn't remember what happened. How did that lead up to that? Was she in the second movie?
No. It was just the same thing. Like in the second movie, he has to help that I can't remember his name, the character, but the bad guy. He has to help him because he owes the blood oath thing on the coin.
Oh.
So she owed one to him, so that's why she helped him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I really like how he got to that city with I liked that kind of brief look at that where he kind of originated from, like the training place.
Oh, like the Russian.
Yeah, like the training.
Yeah, like all the ballerinas.
Yeah,
and
and the kids were wrestling or something.
Yeah.
I think that's where he got trained. It seemed like.
I think so. Yeah.
No, that wasn't in Casablanca. That was
I know. I was saying like how he got
to
there. Like that's how he got to Casablanca.
Well, he had the same tattoo as like all of them did on their backs.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Or at least one similar.
Yeah, so I thought that was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Like.
Yeah, they didn't really show where he came from in his past before. Did they?
I don't think they.
This is one of those series that I'm fine with them not explaining every single like history or detail thing. Like, I mean, we're there for like just to watch an action scene, basically, right?
Yeah, it's fun having just the tidbits of it, like the lore and
right.
stuff.
Right, you get just a little taste. And
I think it might fall apart if they tried to really get.
I think so, yeah, because that's just not what these movies are.
No.
Or that's not why everybody likes them.
Yeah, especially I mean you're already having to suspend your disbelief so much watching him kill the fact that no stray bullet hits him in the head at any point, so yeah, but it's good that it does it just enough. Like, and the world seemed interesting enough that ooh, this is cool, but you're there to watch Keanu Reeves blow people's brains out with like various weapons and knives and books. But yeah,
I still just can't help but ignore like what's his motivation anymore,
Yeah,
that's my biggest thing. I think the first fight scene with that big guy in the beginning was it left more of an impact on me than I think a lot of the other fights, and I think I feel that way because he was looking inside a book and he saw a photo of him and his wife, and he kisses the photo. His wife's dead. She died of like cancer, right?
Something. Yeah, they don't really explain it.
And it brought back a little bit of the humanity to John Wick's character. And it's so... I feel like it's fading very quickly. Like, even his motivation. Like, why does he want to live? I think they kind of explained that in that tent scene when he went to go see the head guy at the table. What was his reason for wanting to live? Because he provided one.
He wants to keep remembering his wife.
Really? Okay.
That's what he said.
Okay, yeah. Well... I guess there's his motivation.
That's enough for him. I don't know.
Yeah. I just wonder if this man's barely human anymore.
Yeah, he's just a killing machine.
So I just wonder what motivations. Where can they go next with it?
Well, it seems like it's setting up for kind of like I as much as I like the movies, I kind of hope that maybe like the fourth one, like they clearly set up a fourth movie.
Yeah.
And I kind of hope they either wrap it up that one or maybe one more. Like they need to kind of, I don't know, like at a certain point it's gonna get. I feel like it'll get repetitive. I don't think it's quite there. But I don't want to like 8 years from now be like, all right, we're ready for John Wick 7. Like.
Yeah, I mean at the same time though there's a very like natural cliffhanger to each movie.
Yeah.
That's like. Okay, I could see what's gonna happen next, or imagine what's gonna happen next. They're not like forcing like the James Bond movies. Like those are kind of like one-offs. Like it's just another James Bond movie. This is like a very continuous, natural flowing story.
Yeah.
And I think it'll like after seeing this movie, the third one, I can imagine just how cool it would be to watch 1, 2, and 3 like right after each other, because they really just go like literally after each other.
There's no time gap between any of the films. No. They literally all lead right into each other. I believe.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, so I just don't want it to get to the point where it's like.
Yeah, I agree.
Like fame, like it's like everything you like love. Like it seems like it's like beaten to death, or they're just milking money out.
Literally.
Yeah.
Just shot in the head.
Yeah, but I am excited for 4. I mean, it kind of ends with Winston's character betraying John Wick.
Was it betrayal though?
Can we talk about? Yeah, let's talk about that. So, after John Wick leaves the desert where he meets was that like the head guy?
I
guess
of like
so.
the whole thing.
I think so.
It's kind of bizarre, right?
It was weird. Like I
Yeah.
wasn't expecting like a desert scene, or it just felt a little weird to me.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a huge deal, so it doesn't really matter. But so after he made his deal with the head guy of everything, he's tasked with killing Winston, the head of the New York Continental.
Yeah.
And John Wick makes it to New York, doesn't kill him, spares his life, and then a huge battle takes place at the Continental, which was awesome.
It was really awesome seeing. I don't know the character's name. The concierge.
Yeah.
Fighting like that was cool.
Yeah.
Like
I was scared that he was gonna die.
Yeah, it was.
I'm glad he didn't though.
Yeah.
He's a really good character.
He'll probably die in the next one.
Yeah. Probably just blow his brains off.
But yeah, so John Wick didn't kill him. That whole fight scene went down, and then at the very end of the movie, there was like this like kind of peace treaty thing with
Parlay. Yeah.
with this. Who was the woman?
They kept using a term for her,
like an ambassador for the table, I guess.
Yeah. So she like worked for the head people.
Yeah.
And she was trying to, I guess, fire Winston for helping John Wick in the second movie.
Yeah.
So John Wick like helped Winston throughout the whole thing, and then at the very end during this peace talk thing, Winston turns to John Wick, shoots him a bunch of times, and then
It's like John Wick must die then.
Yeah.
But
And
the
then-
bullets don't even go through.
He has
he had that
bulletproof
like
vest.
bulletproof suit.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's in the second movie.
Oh, okay.
Are you sure you watched this?
I just don't remember. It's been like a year or two, probably.
It is one that you watch like and you're just like, ooh, like
I just don't remember.
Dude,
He got a new suit from the guy in the tent.
Oh yeah.
Remember
I'm
that?
assuming it has the same stuff
Yeah,
because
probably.
he got the suit from
The head guy's probably the best
these
suit
people.
he's ever had.
Yeah, probably.
Probably. And so yeah, he shoots him a bunch of times, and then John Wick falls off the building.
It was kind of comical, like how
I was
it felt,
like,
too,
like when he was shooting him, I was like, okay, he's gonna fall off. There's gonna be like some like net thing in place where like this was all planned out. But no, John Wick just falls like
hits like
off a building, hits this smaller building, and then like
the railing,
smashes his face on like one of those
fire escapes.
Fire escapes, yeah. And hits the ground.
You're like,
on the
yeah, he's
ground.
definitely dead. Like, there's no way, like, anything.
I'm gonna say it. John Wick is never gonna die. If he survived that, like,
he can't die.
There's no way. He's unkillable.
Yeah.
But did he have that planned? It felt
See,
like it was
I
planned.
didn't think that Winston's character would be like that, and I think that I don't know. I'm kind of confused by it.
The political ties and like, or the like, I'll use the word political ties. Where alliances happen are always strange in that movie because I mean you're all assassins, you know. You live by like a code that's like it's kind of vague for us as the audience.
Well, and the ambassador chick or whatever from the table, she was like insinuating that Winston and John were friends, and that's why he helped him out in the second movie.
Yeah.
So I have to believe that Winston somehow knew that John would survive.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It just seemed weird because like John could also fought and back too. He didn't really make an effort. Like
true.
Yeah. He could have rushed him or something. Like if he thought he was gonna.
But my one question is he gets with the king guy. You know, the guy was with the pigeons, and he says, "Are you mad? Winston betrayed you." Something like that, right? He said, "Are you mad about that?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm mad," you know, or whatever he said.
Pissed.
Yeah.
That got like an applause. From the
Yeah,
audience.
he's like, say it back.
He's like,
Yeah. And so it seems like he believes that Winston betrayed him.
Was he talking about that or like just the table?
I don't know. Yeah. But then the concierge said that was an excellent plan.
Exactly. Yeah. Like if you think about it,
To the
John Wick has to know that Winston was probably saving his life there, but I feel like they could have planned it out better because that fall could have easily killed John. You know, it's like if they had like that like safety net thing, like I would have like been like, oh, totally, Winston did that on purpose to save John Wick.
I feel like he betrayed him. I think he betrayed him.
I don't
it
think
just
so.
seemed weird.
It doesn't,
because there was a part to roll off on the side of the building where he was rolled a bit, and then he hit the fire escape, and then I mean, it still would have killed him. So I don't know.
Yeah,
it's
probably one of those things.
He seemed surprised when she came back because the lady comes back and she says, John Wick's gone.
Yeah,
and he's like, oh well, and then she's like, no, he's gone. He's not on the street, and he's like, oh, he's like, that seems highly unlikely. Like he seemed kind of.
See, I thought that as like him just like being sarcastic and being like. What? He's got...
That's what I heard too.
That doesn't sound like John Wick to me,
Just leading her off the trail.
Exactly. I still think that there's loyalty between those two characters. It does not make sense for those two characters. Like, if he didn't betray John in the second movie, if John didn't kill him in this movie, there's no way that, like, after that huge fight scene in the Continental that, oh, well, you can have your hotel back, but he dies. Oh, okay. Bang, bang, bang. Like, it just doesn't make sense. I think that was a plan that...
He had to.
That allowed John to escape.
Yep. He had to. At least give him a chance, because... I don't know. Because, I mean, they just keep sending SWAT teams after him.
Right. She said, like, that was the first wave.
I bet they can make, like, 2 or 3 more waves, probably.
Oh, yeah. Next they had are dual wielding 50 cal sniper rifles.
I didn't like that Winston didn't help them at all. Like he was just
I thought that was funny.
I mean, it was funny. It was funny, but it was like, come on, man.
Dude, someone had to watch the dog.
He's probably not much of a fighter.
Yeah, he's probably old by now.
Yeah. John Wick. I mean, Keanu Reeves is like, how old is he? Like,
he's in his 50s.
Yeah, dude. He can still kill any one of us.
Dude, he's a terrifying guy.
Yeah.
Gosh.
He's got kind of an interesting story too. Like
his
he girlfriend died or something.
Yeah, I think his girlfriend and mom died or something.
Yeah.
Dang.
It's probably his wife actually. I don't know. Here we are talking about stuff we don't know about.
Yeah, I don't know.
I have heard he's a nice guy though.
He's into motorbikes.
Yeah, he's into cars, motorcycles. I saw this video of him. He takes public transportation. Like he'll take the bus, the subway. There's a video of him sitting on a subway. An old lady is just gets on stands, and he stands up and offers her a seat. It's cool. That's pretty cool. Like you would hope that there are people like that in that level of fame that a lot of people look up to. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
he just seems like a really nice guy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anything else stand out to you guys from the movie? I mean, it's just a lot of action.
That dog bit that dude's
there were a lot of
off,
crotch biting.
Yeah,
by dogs.
That was brutal. That dog.
That's where they were trained to aim.
Yeah, really.
I thought it was sad. I like that actor's in Game of Thrones. I like his character in Game of Thrones. Watching him get his penis ripped off.
What are you talking about?
He's in Game of Thrones.
I don't watch Game of Thrones.
Okay, I'm just saying. Saying the guy's in Game of Thrones.
You're really grossing me out right now. Just kidding.
That would be so painful. You're so mad.
Really?
Get off me!
Unless you're into that sort of thing.
Okay.
Okay. Next, spin the hotkeys.
Yeah. So where do you think they'll go next? Because this movie clearly ended on a cliffhanger, which I was not expecting. I thought that this was going to be the last one.
I'd read one review. It wasn't a spoiler, but they're like, "Oh, I'll definitely go see John Wick 4." I'm like, "It's kind of a spoiler in itself, idiot."
Yeah, it's stupid.
But
so yeah, where do you guys? Do you have any predictions for where it could go next?
They're gonna have some sort of war with the table. Probably trying to take him out. That's the only thing I can.
It'll be Lawrence Fishburne's character and John Wick teaming up with their underground people. I would think probably most of it in New York, probably. I don't know. I'm assuming that one chick will be back.
Yeah, probably.
She's going to die in the next one.
Yeah, I hope so.
I thought she was dying in this one.
I did too.
Well, you can't. She's she knows she's too powerful. You can't kill her. That'd be bad.
Well, when she was up there with Winston and John, she's like, "You gonna kill him? He's like,
well,
no, I don't think. I'm like, why didn't I kill her right
yeah,
there?
like that's the whole point of John Wick is breaking the rules. Like he broke the rules and.
Well, there's no point. Like they were screwed. Like they were like, yeah, we're gonna send SWAT teams in here. I'm like, why don't you just kill this chick right now? Like she's not like. She's not. Yeah, I don't know. But
I think the story is run by a lot of rules, like the secret underground rules of the assassin order or whatever the heck it is. It's just like I think the story runs on a lot of things where, because of the action, we're able to accept these introduction of new rules that bring the story along, and I think that's just how it works.
Yeah,
and it's fine because it's like we said earlier. It's just we like the action. It's just
it's a really good action movie. Like that's not like super cheesy.
Oh, one thing I also really liked those ninja guys.
Oh yeah,
the two.
Well, they were all of them. They were
like main ninja guy.
He was so funny.
He was like, so funny. He was like clearly a fan of John Wick. Like, it's really nice to meet you. Like, I'm really glad to be fighting you.
Yeah, like I loved it at the end. Like he sits up, he's got the sword step.
And he's like, "I'll catch up."
He's like, "That was a pretty good fight, right, John?"
Yeah, it was.
It's like, "Don't worry about me. I just gotta catch my breath."
Sword going through his chest.
I'll catch up with you.
No, you won't.
He just falls over his head. Like,
I hope he comes back. He's probably dead though.
I'm pretty sure he's dead.
Yeah, you don't come back from that.
Probably not.
Yeah, he was like. So, would he be technically the main bad? Like, I mean, there wasn't really a main bad guy, like, unless you count that girl, maybe.
I would count her and just, I guess, the Continental and
the
table in general. Yeah. Like, he was more of like the physical bad guy.
Yeah.
But he kind of came in like halfway through the movie, though.
Yeah, which was weird.
Wasn't really there for a lot of it.
Yeah.
But still a good character.
Yeah, he's funny.
Yeah.
Like when they sat on the couch and he like sat like right next to him and John just gets up.
Yeah, they're like in safe harbor and they both sit down and just scoots up really close to him, gets all friendly.
John wasn't having any of that. But yeah, it was good. It was fun. It's the first one of the series that I've seen in theaters, and I think it was definitely worth it. Like,
yeah,
it was fun. It's a movie you go to and like I was happy to hear people like.
Right, like you didn't mind hearing people go, "Oh no! Oh gosh! Oh!" Yeah, like, you just shout that guy in the face.
Yeah.
Oh. No, don't put the knife there. Oh.
Yeah. Well, there was the one where he had like right over the guy's eye and like
slowly goes.
Oh yeah. It's the stuff of nightmares.
Yeah. Whenever I watch John Wick movies, I always want to like, man, I wish I could do that. It's so dumb.
Be nuts, dude.
Like, it's probably years of training and totally unrealistic.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, they make it look realistic.
Yeah, I was going to say, as far as, like, okay, for example, at the beginning of this movie, there were a bunch of trailers. There was one for Fast and Furious Presents Hobbs and Shaw, which, gosh.
Looks so dumb.
It looks so bad. Like, just totally unrealistic action. I mean, and that's what those movies are, so it's fine. But
it looks.
But it's like people like flying from like buildings, like shooting people, swinging everywhere. It's like.
See, I was getting irritated because I knew what was coming next. Like, get this cheesy stuff out of the way. I'm here for John Wick.
Right? Yeah. Exactly.
that one horror movie looked good to me.
Oh, Brightburn?
No, I don't know if you. I think you walked in the middle of it.
What was it? Well, I know what you're talking about.
It was called.
It was like the
Summer Soul.
Yeah, it was like German.
That looked really corny to me.
It's from the person that made Hereditary, so it's gonna be like it'll probably be good.
It looked really lame. It reminded me of that one movie. Do you remember the name?
Cure for Wellness.
Yeah, like
it looked. I only saw a bit of it, but
it's got what's his face in it? I think his name's. This guy that played
There's a good guy with a.
This guy that played Eustace on The Chronicles of Narnia, The Voyage of the Dawn Treader, I think.
I never saw that one.
Okay.
And then It 2 trailer played.
I'm excited for
and
that.
I thought it was a comedy.
Yeah, Ben was over there laughing the whole time.
I laughed at the first trailer too. I thought it was hilarious, like him running towards the children. I don't know why I think it's funny.
Oh, in the sewer, the part of the
Yeah,
trailer, you're
he's
wow.
like running like a crab. It's funny.
I'm excited for that. I should try to finish the book before it comes out. I tried to read the book before the first part came out. I got like
That book is long,
it's
isn't
like
it?
over 1,000 pages. I got like 300 pages into it. I think it's good, but I'm like, maybe I'll try to get back into it. But I'm excited for that movie.
Yeah. In the book, do they like jump back and forth between when they're kids and adults? Like it's
at
not
least
like...
they did in the beginning. I think it's it's been a while since I've read part of it, but in the beginning it starts out when they're adults.
It's been a while.
It hops back a little bit. It does a lot. Like it starts with them as adults.
Oh,
I
really?
think, and it like
They're kind of like reminiscing about.
no, they're all in their own separate ways, and one of the guys stays in Derry, and he like sends letters to all of them, I believe.
Oh,
which
yeah.
is out,
Yeah.
and it kind of goes through their flashbacks, and then it jumps when they're kids. But I don't know if it continually
Don't
jumps
they
back and
like?
forth.
Isn't there something about them like forgetting what happened? Like
Yeah.
they don't really remember anything.
Yeah. So
I feel like I would remember that stuff.
I think that's like part of that they don't remember,
Like it's part of
the like something whatever.
Pennywise's plan
Yeah.
or something.
What is Pennywise?
Isn't he an alien?
I haven't
Like
finished.
an alien from a floating giant turtle or something?
I'm not sure because I haven't finished the book, but he manifests himself as whatever your worst fear is. So he's not a clown to everybody.
Oh, okay.
That's just like his main thing. He is.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I think he feeds off children, like he eats them or something.
And kids are mostly afraid of clowns because all I know Pennywise as is the clown or that monster.
Yeah, well, I think that's what he shows up as most of the time. But like he can take different forms, I believe.
Okay.
Because there's like a part where he's like
Isn't he like a zombie at one point?
Or like does he turn into like a spider too?
I can't remember, but in the first movie he is different things too.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Huh.
Yeah.
We should watch it.
I told you I'd watch it.
Alright, we'll do it. We'll do it before the second part comes out.
You'll watch it?
I said I'd watch it
in the
with
day.
a few conditions: in daylight, with lights on, in someone's house.
All right. Well, we'll do it. We'll do it like a
I'm
week.
surprised.
We'll do it like a week before like.
Well, I'm not saying it 2 in theaters.
Oh,
No, I'm not doing that.
come on.
No.
It's got a great cast, man. You got,
I'm glad it's got a great cast.
you got
There's a
Bill
bunch of
Hader
movies
in
that have
there.
great casts that I haven't seen. That's not a sole reason for me to go see a movie.
You're just such a. You just really.
Yes, I am. I'm not denying it.
Man, what was that one we went and saw together? Like
Us.
Yeah.
That was good. You should have went.
You should have went. That one wasn't even that scary.
No.
Well, I'm a wimp.
Okay.
I did feel like that one actually got scarier. Like most of the time.
Ah,
no, I'm
see?
saying like most of the time a horror movie gets less scary. Like once you figure out what it is. I felt like that one was actually more haunting. Like when you actually knew what was going on. Like once you figured out like what actually was going on.
It was bizarre.
Yeah.
That
was a great film. Though.
Yeah, it was really good. I wish we could have talked about that one in the podcast, but
Why didn't you?
I
think
think it was before we started up
recording,
again.
yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, talk about it now.
I don't know how I won't do
Part
it.
2, a spoiler. I know the movie's been out for a while, guys, but
I wouldn't do it justice if we talked about it.
I'd have to see it again.
Yeah.
But yeah,
You gotta sell it once.
yeah.
So what are we rating John Wick 3 Parabellum?
Out of 10.
Yeah. Out of 15.
Well, before we do that, let's say what. I know it's been a while for you, Ben, but
Okay.
rating the first 2 John Wicks. Let's start with John Wick 1. What would you rate that as?
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Landon.
I'd probably give it a 9 or a 10.
Yeah, probably 10. Yeah. Okay. Chapter 2.
From what I remember, I'll give it a 9 out of 10. It's a solid movie. I remember really enjoying the story in that one. Specifically, yeah.
I'll say 9 or 10. Same 9 or 10 depending.
Yeah, I'm a 10.
Yeah.
Chapter 3.
I gotta go with a 9. Yeah. I don't know if I enjoyed the story as much, and I barely remember the second one, but so it's kind of weird that I'm judging it by the story, but I don't know if I liked this one's story very much, or like the progression. Fight scenes were awesome though, so I'm still giving it a 9 out of 10. Like,
Yeah, I think one thing with these movies is the fight scenes in each movie gets better
They keep going.
and better and better and bigger and bigger and just cooler and cooler.
I really should be giving them all 10 out of 10s, but I feel like that's not right.
Well, it's what you feel.
No, 9 out of 10. Yeah,
I'd probably give it an 8 or a 9.
Yeah,
Just a little like, and it's probably just because the newness of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when I saw the first John Wick, I was like,
this is freaking.
I'm like, this is like the coolest thing I've ever seen in my whole entire life.
Yeah.
Like, and so I think it's just worn off maybe a little bit on film 3, but I mean, so it could be like, you know, if you watched them in any order, they could all be 10s in my opinion. But right now, I'd probably give it 8 or a 9.
I'd probably give it a 9.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
Still great though.
definitely worth seeing in theater. I mean,
like these are like the best action movies I've ever seen.
Yeah, I would definitely say.
And
that.
they're like the coolest action movies. Like these movies are so like stylized.
Yep.
And
best choreographed fight scenes.
Yeah,
Best like I don't know. It just really like I don't know. I mean, you can do good action movies with a PG-13 rating, but you're better suited just knocking that up to an R and just letting the bullets.
Well, it's like with like
what's the Bourne series?
The Bourne series?
Yeah, the movies. Yeah,
Bourne Identity.
Well, after watching John Wick, it's like these are kind of lame.
Well, and like those movies are good, but like are what you're talking about, like the fight stuff.
I guess, but yeah, perhaps I shouldn't be judging it on the same.
Right. So what the fight scenes are like in those movies, in the Bourne movies, they are, and they were kind of the first movies to like really do this. So at the time, it was kind of cool and like new, but they are very like close up, shaky cam.
Yeah.
So like you feel like you're like in the action and stuff, but at least for me, like I want to see what's going on. I want to know where people are, like in relation to each other. Like I know that person is there and he's gonna punch him in the face. I know where that punch is, that kick is being kicked, and it's like I don't want to like feel like I'm gonna throw up.
Because it also feels less cheated too. Like you're not getting cheated.
Yeah.
Like you're actually seeing them. Like
I think a lot of that too is like not very confident choreographing on their part.
Yeah.
Like they hide it with camera moves.
Well, I'm sure if they took a step back and had full body stuff like in John Wick, it'd be like, this is really lame.
Right, yeah. They'd be like, this doesn't look back right.
Yeah, so the magic of editing makes the Bourne series.
I still love those Bourne movies, but yeah, comparing the fight sequences to John Wick is just, you can't do it.
Yeah.
Just not there.
Those are more like thrillers too. Like
It's like political thrillers. Yeah. This is just one giant fight scene.
Is there any other movie that's similar to John Wick? I can't. That kind of follows.
I mean, did you guys ever see those Raid movies?
No.
I've heard those are good.
Yeah, those are kind of the same action, filmed action wise. Like I heard those are really good.
Yeah, I've heard especially like the Raid 2 is like
it's like one of the best action films ever. I really need to watch those.
Atomic Blonde. I never watched that, but I heard it was alright.
What did you guys think of that? Another trailer before the movie was Anna.
I'd probably watch that.
It looked okay, right?
What was that one?
It was like a female spy thriller.
Okay, I'm gonna sound like a jerk, but
Dave, mark this time. All right, Ben.
I don't know. Like
ruin your career.
Okay, like how strong is she? Like she's like wrestling like these dudes.
If you know the moves, you know the moves.
Okay,
I guess.
I'll be honest here.
Except she has skill.
I was in martial arts and taekwondo for 10 years. Yeah. I could tell you, I got beat up a ton by girls.
Okay, it doesn't matter then.
As long, and it's. I mean, strength is a big part of it. Don't get me wrong, but technique and speed and stamina. That's
why in John Wick they had those girls doing the ballet instead of the wrestling move, the takedown wrestling. Remember?
Yeah,
because
that would help. Well, you get super strong doing ballet.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of that, the girl ripping off her toenail.
Why'd they show that?
That was like one of the worst parts of the movie.
Yeah.
That was the goriest part of the movie.
Like stuck a little bit.
Yeah, I was like,
So yeah, I guess I retract my statement. It's the skill. I could probably be beat up.
I understand what you
girls.
mean, but yeah, I've been taken down plenty by a lot of female martial arts people.
Yeah. I don't know. It looked good. It's got Cillian Murphy in there.
Yeah, I like Cillian Murphy.
Yeah, I'll give him a shot. I'm sure.
I think it looks pretty good.
Yeah.
I know they've been trying to do those movies like Atomic Blonde and what was the Red Sparrow or what
That was a more political one, I think, too. That was.
Well, I mean, they're like doing all this like female spy-led stuff.
I heard Atomic Blonde was good, but
yeah, and I like Charlize Theron a lot. Yeah. She's a good actress.
Her name kind of freaks me out. Like,
freaks you out.
So it's like I don't know. Charlie.
She's probably the best part of Mad Max Fury Road.
Oh, she's good in that.
Yeah.
Another good action movie.
Yeah, another good action movie.
Few and far between.
Still want a second one, but you said
never get it.
Never will.
Probably never will.
That's so frustrating.
It's depressing.
I don't even know why I didn't make a lot of money, or did it not do that great.
I don't know.
I think it has to do with like some contract stuff between the director and the actors.
I want to watch the black and white version of it, just to see if it's any good.
I feel like that would take away from the movie though, because like
it's so pretty.
Yeah, one of the cool parts of that movie was just looking at it, like looking at the color palette and like
and they go to that storm. It's like
I love when they. This is really diverting from John Wick. Like when they come out, there's the one thing, and there's like all the red on the truck, like with the guitar guy, like it just stands out, like it just pops. Like,
it's the colors.
Just doing a flaming guitar solo.
Yeah, it's just nuts. It's nuts.
So cool.
The movie makes no sense.
What a
You don't care. Like, you don't care.
Yeah, John Wick is just basically one big action scene. Mad Max Fury Road is basically just one big car chase.
Yeah, it is. You don't care. You don't care. You're just watching it like, this is so cool. But yeah, it's a great film. Yeah. So all you listeners have quite a few movies to watch if you haven't seen those.
Yeah, this is definitely a must-see movie.
Yeah.
Must-see 3 movies. John Wick 2, and John Wick 3.
Yeah. Just watch them all in one sitting and just be so desensitized to violence.
I had a headache after I watched this one. I think it was too much for me. I gotta take a nap now.
I did kind of miss like there was no like rave parties.
Yeah,
like,
where was the rave party?
Like the first 2 movies had that like kind of dance rave thing going
super
on.
Loud, like
like
still killing people like in the middle of the crowd.
Action to the beat of the music and stuff. But I mean, again, these were probably the best for action, so I can't complain too much.
Yeah, it was insane. Dude, when the horse kicked the dude's like,
oh man, gosh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Dude, I mean, and then they did it again. I was like, oh,
they did it like 3 times.
I'm like, oh man.
Yeah, so when John Wick's being chased, he ends up in a stable in New York, and the guys follow him in there, and he's like slapping the horses, and the horses are like just bucking whatever's behind
the horses
him
as a weapon.
Yeah,
like and it caves like the dude's face in, like, and it's like, oh man, like, at what point would like anybody be like, all these goons are rushing him, they all work for one person, they're like, okay, like it's $14 million, but like there's like 20 of you, you're all splitting it, like. You're only making like at the end of it, like, is it really worth like you're gonna die?
I wonder if it's like whoever gets the kill.
Oh, okay.
Like, because these movies they're very true to like rules. Yeah. And rules matter. They even say it in this movie that rules are what separates us from the animals. Yeah. Like I feel like that's kind of one of their like mottos that they live by.
But like, couldn't one guy kill him and like the next guy just kills him and be like, oh, I killed him?
Like, he wouldn't get the money. I mean, unless it happened like right there. But
yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'd even try.
Wouldn't that just be like robbing him?
14 million wouldn't be enough for me to try to kill John Wick.
What I would do is I'd be one of those guys coming up to him, seeing 5 other guys go up, get killed, and I'd be like, I don't believe in myself that much. I'm walking away.
Well, I mean, most of them die.
Like,
if
if those
like
guys
3
can't
seconds.
do it, there's no way I can.
Like,
do
literally,
it.
most of them die within like 3 seconds of like engaging with him. Like, are they really like running up to him and be like, I got this. You can't be that good. And then like next thing you know, like your own guns turn on your head. And
right, you're getting killed by your own weapon.
There's like the point where like
or by
he has a pin. There's like the part where like he like grabs a magazine out of the other guy, like his like pocket, puts it into his gun, and then shoots the guy in the face. It's like kill him with his own bullets.
I think a lot of the enemies have the stormtrooper syndrome where they just can't hit him. It's just the protagonist, you know. Is of course, you know, what do I expect him to get shot? Right. He does get shot, but plot armor, yeah. But anyway, I think too practically about this. How come someone just doesn't take him out from afar, like just
sniper?
Yeah, he'd notice. He'd reflect the bullet back.
Yeah.
Catching in his
He
teeth.
could hear it coming.
Yeah. Maybe then you couldn't claim the kill.
That'd be so sad. You do kill him. You don't get any money.
You just tie a string to the bullet and then follow the string all the way back to the gun.
I did it.
See, it's attached to mine.
So yeah, so since so many people are after him, you shoot him from afar. Someone's just like, oh, look, there's John Wick. He's on the floor. Just grab his body. You know,
I did it.
forget his body.
I killed him.
So, anyway,
Yeah.
Gosh, yeah, such a great movie.
Yeah.
There's very few movies nowadays that I walk out of the theater and I'm like, I just have a huge smile on my face.
yeah.
There's not like something
like that
you're
was so
nitpicking
fun.
and you're like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's been like a good month for movies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think that John Wick is now going to be probably #1 at the box office.
I heard that too.
Really?
Yeah, it's
Gonna
gonna
overtake Avengers.
Avengers Endgame is finally going to be dethroned.
That's a big deal.
Yep.
Like, oh my gosh.
It could retake it though. Maybe. Does that ever happen where a movie?
Yeah, sometimes. I think it's rare, but it sometimes can do that. Especially with like a mega movie like Endgame.
Yeah.
Speaking of Endgame, I want to see what the box office is.
I'm trying to think of some other good scenes from John Wick. I can't think of any. The movie sucked, actually.
Yeah, it's actually terrible. Like, 3 out of 10. Too violent. It's really just desensitizing children and just it's really just a showing of the times of the U.S.
Yeah.
And our corruption and our love of violence.
Yeah.
It's just a product of Trump's America.
I should never let you vamp again. That's horrible. Okay, right now, Avatar is at 2.7 billion. Endgame is at 2.6 billion. It's definitely overtaking Avatar.
Yeah, because it's gonna be in theater for like at least another.
couple months.
I'm glad because I didn't really like Avatar.
Did anybody
Did anyone like it?
I never watched it. I never watched it. They're making like 5 more of them, I guess.
No.
Yeah.
I don't get how they've been like. Do they really think anybody's gonna go to them? Like,
I mean,
can they
like,
recapture?
I would say that, but at the same time, everyone was saying this about the first Avatar. Like, no one's gonna see this. No one's gonna be interested. Like, they're putting like $500 million into the cost of this movie. Like, it's gonna be a flop. No one's gonna see it. Turns out to be the biggest movie of all time. So
We should watch it again.
I've never seen it. I would watch it. I'd sit down and watch it. I've never seen it. So.
You've never seen
I've never seen it. No.
Maybe I didn't give it a fair shot before. Maybe I was too young to like it. Because I watched it when I was young, And I didn't like it then, but, who knows? I mean, there has to be a reason it's up there.
Well, I think a big reason why it made so much money is because it was primarily a 3D IMAX movie, and those tickets are like a lot more expensive.
Oh.
How much more? How much do they pop? Like,
$5 more, right?
Yeah, something like that. Which that just adds up after a while.
yeah.
I think it was in theaters for like 40 weeks or something.
Oh gosh.
It was a long time.
Well, that was when 3D was really huge.
Right, and that was kind of like the resurgence of this like new 3D thing that has been going for like 10 years.
I don't like seeing them 3D movies.
It just gives me a headache.
I just don't get, it's just not good. Like, it's just not. Like, I've seen a few of them, and it's just never. It's like there's like 2 parts where it's like, oh, yeah, cool, like something coming on the TV. Like,
I remember watching Shrek in 3D.
Shrek.
Yeah. His big old meaty green hands reaching out at you. Shrek is love. Shrek is love.
No, he's not.
It's like he's really here.
No one go to that. Please, no one go to that. Oh, goodness. I'm really sick all of a sudden.
that video is so messed up.
Don't watch that, please. Don't look at this.
Horrible.
It's so weird.
Let's talk about something else.
I remember the Rugrats get lost on an island, and they had the scratch and sniff thing where in certain parts of the movie.
Oh, like the scent thing?
Yeah. They give you a piece of paper and you'd scratch it and you'd smell
That's
it.
so stupid.
Oh,
it is stupid.
Okay. I think like a couple of years, like 20 years ago or something, they had like they called it like 4D, where they had like ascent in the theater, like time to stuff in the movie. It's like, I mean, I like to be engrossed in a film and like feel like I'm like,
that's just not doing it for me.
Forgetting about reality for a while, but like I don't need to be where they are, you know.
Yeah. I was trying to watch
like this nice AC theater.
What would be the worst?
Like popcorn is fine.
What would be the worst movie to do that on? Like Scratch and Sniff.
Oh.
Like the most
Saving Private Ryan.
Oh man.
The beach scene is like, oh my god. It smells like this.
What's a really gross movie? I'm
trying to think.
Oh, probably like it. Like
what would Pennywise smell like?
Yeah, there's all the sewer stuff.
Rotting flesh.
Flushed away.
Flushed away.
Flushed away. Chicken Realm would be bad too. It just smells like a farm. Like
Charlotte's Web.
Yeah, Charlotte's Web.
I'm gonna stand by Shrek on this one. That's gonna be. It's gonna be number one again.
Number one on this best smells.
There's probably a lot of stinky movies out there.
Yeah, most of them. Like any kind of like. What would be a good one? Like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory would be a good one.
Oh,
for
yeah.
Good smells.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah. Or like in the Lord of the Rings when you're like in the Shire. Yeah. I feel like the Shire would just smell nice.
Like when they go to the bog though. Like or whatever, like the like Smeagol's guy in them.
When he's eating worms.
What does Smeagol smell like? Scratch and Sniff.
I think he smells pretty bad.
He has to, man. He has
He doesn't bathe.
Yeah.
He eats raw fish.
Smeagol's so good.
Do your best Smeagol impression.
I can't.
Do it.
Landon, have you talked about this before? That you think Smeagol is the
I think he's
hero?
The hero. I think he is the hero.
How he sacrifices himself.
He does.
The ring.
I mean, you're not like. I mean, you're wrong, but like you're kind of not wrong because like they even like say it in the series like without like Smeagol is there for a purpose. Like without him, the ring wouldn't have been destroyed.
Yeah. I know I crap on those movies a lot. Mostly just.
I don't know why.
Just mostly for comedic effect, like.
Oh, so you're a jerk face.
Like, but I do think Smeagol, in my opinion, is the best character in the show. I'm not even joking about it. I think he's like one of the three like best written, most interesting characters definitely. For sure. Like I've always wanted an alternate ending where like when they're like battling like to throw the ring in like in like I think it's like Frodo and like Smeagol Frodo and Smeagol roll off the edge. And Sam's like he crawls over the edge. I've always like in the real movie he looks over and Frodo's dangling there. Like I want in the real version like Sam crawls the edge. Sam crawls the edge and Smeagol laying there. He grabs me, like rips Sam, and, like throws him off.
He's like my present.
And then Smeagol hops up, puts the ring on, waltzes out on Mordor, and like everybody else dies.
He just walks out like
he just scampers out, like
skips away back to his cave hole.
Yeah.
That'd be a great end.
Or like I think like it should be something hidden in the Blu-rays. Like if you watch the Blu-ray like 1,000 times, like the 1,001 time, like that happens. Like the super fans sitting there, like this like 500-pound guy's like, oh, it's my 8th time or my 8,000th time when I Lord of the Rings. Then that happens and it scares me. It's like a heart attack. Like he just jumps out, kills Sam. Like.
I mean, that's not just the one movie because he'd be watching the trilogy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you watch all the way through.
Extended cut.
8,000 times.
You know it by heart. You're about to quote it, and then
like,
something's wrong. You guys told Sam.
You're like, just dies in his chest. But then it resets, so like everyone's like, "Oh, why did he die?" So like looking at him, his heart rate, his heart exploded in his chest.
No one will ever know. Yeah. I mean, look at him; he's unhealthy.
Yeah.
Eat a sandwich.
Yeah. It was all part of Peter Jackson's original vision.
Yeah,
he had to hide it though to keep it from the Tolkien estate. Like they can never know.
They had to hide it 1,000 times in the DVDs.
This is bizarre, man.
You know nothing of sacrifice.
Whatever it takes. How did we get from this?
I don't know.
We started off in John Wick 3 and now we're
We started
fantasizing about Gollum winning and keeping the ring. Jumping out at poor Sam and throwing him to his death.
Crumbs on his jacket.
Oh,
so
Mr. Mr. Frodo.
Oh, Mr. Frodo. I'll help you, Mr. Frodo.
Dude, what a dumb character. Wait, what?
Better watch your mouth.
Oh.
Well,
I don't know where this podcast is going.
What did you name this one?
Gosh, John Wick. I was gonna do a John Wick 3 spoiler cast.
It kind of turned into something good.
we should have.
It wasn't good before.
we could have Dave put like a timestamp on this, I guess, like so like people could jump if they didn't want to listen to the spoiler cast part.
Yeah, that'd be good. More work for Dave.
Oh well, Dave can listen to it on the side.
Yeah.
Since Dave controls us.
Dave is the ringleader.
He'll edit this out. He'll edit me.
Silencing it.
Silencing the people.
Yeah, he'll cut out all the bad stuff you said about Lord of the Rings.
Well, just like he'll edit to be like, I love Lord of the Rings. It's my favorite movie.
Landon said this. Dave is the best.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
Alright, well, anything else you guys want to talk about?
Nothing else for John Wick 3. No.
John Wick 3, definitely go see it.
No, definitely go see
Very good film.
All right.
Very satisfying film
Yeah. Yeah.
for a third. And not last. Okay, well,
Yeah. It's good stuff.
you can find us on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, CastBox, YouTube, and other podcasting platforms. Visit our website at www.hotkeyspodcast.com. Follow us on Twitter at Hot+keys Podcast. And join our Facebook group. Okay, Dave, you're listening to this part. You didn't text me back on what it was, so I'm not going to say it, so you can fill it in
You
or
can
whatever.
find us on Facebook. Just dig around a little bit. You'll find us down there in the muck.
Dig around a little bit.
Dig,
Scratch
dig.
and sniff. You'll find us.
Put on your 3D glasses. You'll find Smeagol, but just ignore him. Go to our Facebook group, whatever it's called.
Just north of Smeagol, you'll find the Hot+keys Podcast Facebook page.
Just scratch and sniff and you'll find some dilemma with that.
Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes.
Still haven't seen it.
And finally, you can also contact us via email at hosts@hotkeyspodcast.com. Thanks!
Bye.